This is the story of a religious person. Let's call him Tom. Tom is an avid YouTuber and wishes to use this fabulous technology to spread the word of this God. He's a member of the Church of the Cookie Monster, or a monstrist for short. Tom would like to share the joy he feels in his heart when he talks about monstrism. He wants to get as many people as he can and save their souls. His wife is rich and he doesn't need to work, so he can do this full time. So Tom buys a good video camera and starts making his videos. At first, he lets people comment on his channel. He allows them to rate his videos and post comments and video responses on them. He never blocks users. Free speech is a universal right after all. So after he starts to post stuff, he gets negative ratings and criticism. This somewhat annoys him. How can they not see how the Cookie Monster is their savior? How do these people not want to be saved and stop sinning? So he religiously answers the comments one at a time, trying to convince those deluded people that they're wrong. He cites the Cookie Monster recipe book profusely. But these people are obstinate and refuse to acknowledge the authority of this holy book. They say the Cookie Monster isn't real. Nonsense! Can't they open their eyes and see the evidence? Cookies unattended disappear all over the world. His subscriber count goes up and some of his friends and subscribers help him out. They answer some of the overwhelming negative comments. They provide him with some encouragement, but they are few and the opposition is huge. What really gets to Tom is the fact that not only atheists are criticizing him, but religious people as well. And not only those anti-monstrist religions, but a number of branches of monstrism as well. What the hell is going on? A number of comments on his videos are disrespectful for the Cookie Monster. Tom can't allow that. He deletes these nasty comments out of respect for his God. After all, freedom of speech excludes hate speech. And what if a monstrist reads a lie about the Cookie Monster being just a character in a kid's TV show and thus gets indoctrinated into atheism? Oh, he can't let that happen. He plainly explains the rules of engagement. You are free to criticize my video any way you want, but you're not allowed to lie or write anything that may insult my God. When he does that, he gets blasted. Coward! What's wrong? Your God needs your protection or something? So at that point, he gets buried into a gigantic wave of grievance. He has no choice but to ignore most of the messages posted on his videos. Eventually, there are just too many negative comments and Tom is overwhelmed. He and his friends can't possibly answer all that criticism. His God is starting to look very bad because of all the lies people post. He has to do something, but what? New rule. From now on, all comments posted will need to be approved. That way, he can have more control over his video's comments and video responses. His buddies can't help him with the filtering, so it's still a lot of work. When they see only positive feedback, they just stop policing the comments. But when they try to comment on his videos, they see this comment pending approval, which annoys them at best. Tom decides that only his friends could post things on his channel. That's a tiny improvement. At least his friends will not see that nasty comment pending approval. But everybody else will. Some even tell him, "Don't you have the courage of your convictions?" Tom has an idea. Instead of blocking text responses, he can simply allow all responses on his videos, and then, when he finds a negative comment, he can simply block the sender. This could be seen as cowardice, but then again, it's for a greater good, to preserve the holiness of his heavenly monster. The system works as follows. Video responses are still filtered, but text responses are allowed. Whenever someone says something negative on his videos, he replies with a swift, blunt comment. He then immediately blocks him so that the commenter can't answer. This way, all of his commenter's future negative comments are prevented in a single blow. By doing this, his friends think that he stumped the commenter. They admire him for his wisdom. This is awesome! Of course, he doesn't tell anyone because what would they think of him? Tom thinks that these critiques got what they deserve. After all, this is his channel. Moreover, he owed it to his fellow monstrists. They have to be shielded from these lies. Eventually, some of his friends figure it out when he blocks one of them for criticizing him on another topic. Tom pretends it was a mistake and reinstates him. Later, some unbelievers accuse him of the same thing in video responses. Again, his friends ask him about this. Tom replies, "That guy? He's a troll. He was insulting our heavenly monster. That's why I blocked him. But overall, this is great." Now, all of Tom's friends find him awesome. His subscriber count keeps going up. This is the perfect solution. Well, almost perfect. He can't block videos posted on other channels, and his subscribers can still see those. If only there was a way to shut them up. He could file a DMCA complaint, but that would be illegal. He doesn't want to get sued. Maybe he could use a vote bot to discredit those liars? That would be divine retribution. Many months pass by. Tom's channel has thousands of subscribers. The number of videos critical of him is very high. His subscriber base stabilizes, and then it even goes down slightly. One day, something terrible happens. His wife divorces him. He has no choice but to start working full-time. He has a lot less time to answer his video comments. The number of negative comments starts to overpower him again. He goes back to stage 2, filtering all comments individually. Tom finds that he has no choice but to disable comments on his videos and channel. This frees up more time to make new videos. At least, he can still spread the word of his monsterness. The next thing that Tom is annoyed with is that his videos are badly rated, which, he knows, influences the search results on YouTube. He has no choice but to turn off video rating. That way, at least, his new videos will be neutral when you search for it on YouTube. At this point, all feedback is turned off, and total censorship is in effect. Tom's subscriber base goes down. Without any feedback, his channel becomes a ghost town. This is taking a toll on his morale. He decides to retire from YouTube. This is the story of Al. Al is an atheist and a rational thinker. He starts off at stage 0, which means he allows all feedback. A monstrist posts a negative comment on his video. Al is away at the time, but one of his fellow atheists replied to his comment with an argument so logical that the monstrist is stumped. He eventually gives up. Al doesn't need to censor his videos because they stand up all by themselves, and they don't need any further explanations. All monstrists that see Al's videos roll their eyes and cite the Cookie Monster recipe book, but their arguments are consistently countered, so they eventually give up. Al stays on stage 0 throughout his stay on YouTube.